So 2/3, almost 67% of retirees now say that they substantially rely on Social Security for retirement income or plan to do so. According to a recent survey which polled retirees and a group of younger Americans as well. When the advocacy group for older Americans asked the same question in 2005, about half or 50% at that point, 20 years ago, indicated a heavy reliance on their monthly checks. So this is increasing substantially year over year. And I would add that as we see the price of everything continue to go up, necessities, right? Food, insurance costs, we discussed yesterday on the show, everything, survival items, right? It dips further into the checks that these retirees are getting and rely on just to make ends meet. It says, and this, by the way, this article is out of a CBS News Money Watch. The surge in retirees who largely rely on Social Security income to make ends meet comes as the program faces key challenges, from recent staffing cuts to a long-term financial crunch that could cause payments to be slashed, listen to this, starting in the year 2034, right? So that's less than 9 years away. More than 3/4 of people in the United States, or 78%, are worried that Social Security won't provide enough to live on during retirement. That's according to AARP CEO Machia Minter-Jordan, said in a conference call to discuss the group's findings. That's an increase from 5 years ago when 74% expressed a similar concern. And I would say this, if you are a younger person and you think for a second that you're going to be able to rely on Social Security to pay your bills during retirement, maybe like your parents or your grandparents did, I think you're sadly mistaken. And if I was, I'm not retirement age right now, I'm a ways away, but certainly if you were in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, you pretty much, from my perspective as a layperson, have to assume that there aren't going to be any benefits there. Okay, so what does that mean? It means you have to get it done now while you can. You can't rely on that fund being there to supplement your income when you hit retirement age, or to certainly not to be able to provide enough income to basically pay all your bills. Confidence in the future of Social Security is declining, with only 36% of Americans today saying that they believe it will continue to pay out reliably at the same level. That's a dip of 7 percentage points from 2020 to now, according to this study. At the same time, 96% of Americans said they believe Social Security is important, with little difference between age groups or political party affiliations, according to AARP. Americans in their 30s are the most pessimistic, about the future of Social Security, although confidence in the program's outlook tends to rise as people approach retirement age and get closer to claiming their benefits, the study found. Obviously, that is I think goes without saying. Those that are on the cusp of being able to collect their Social Security don't necessarily have the same concerns about it running out, right, or being depleted, or benefits being cut substantially, as those that are still, young and, working age. But again, for those younger generations, those younger groups, you have to plan on, again, nobody and nothing coming to save you, right? If you plan for the worst case scenario and you get to that point and there may be something left in this depleting fund, then it'll just be icing on the cake. I will say this, and love to get your thoughts and comments. The wealthy do not care about Social Security. The wealthy do not rely on Social Security. It's probably pocket change, walking around money for them, okay? So again, it's a mindset. If you are thinking, hey, I'll get to a certain point where I can get $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 a month and be fine, you know, that's a from my perspective, okay, may not agree, I mean, you guys may not all agree with me, but it's a mediocrity mindset. So again, younger people, and you might guys want to share the video with younger people in your life. The younger people need to understand that this is not going to be a substantial factor in enabling them to make their expenses in their older years. It says, meanwhile, Social Security Administration data shows that Americans are filing for benefits at a record rate in 2025. This comes as experts are pointing to rising concerns about the program's reliability and future solvency, given job cuts at the agency and other changes. Wealth inequality is also a growing issue among retirees, with some white-collar workers heading into their golden years with the hefty retirement savings thanks to corporate 401k programs with company matches. But about half of all private sector workers lack access to corporate retirement accounts, creating hurdles for saving for retirement, a recent Pew Charitable Trust study found. Again, it's a mindset. The younger people, 30s, 40s, 50s, need to be starting businesses, need to be doing everything they can to set themselves up financially so they don't even need to look to Social Security when they get to the retirement age, right? So they have plenty of resources to hopefully live at least the same standard of life they lived when they were working, and hopefully even a better standard of life once they are retired. But you don't get a do-over. You have to start young. You've got to think about opportunities, be smart with spending, keep yourself, low on debt. And so all the things that we've been discussing on this channel for a while now. Last year, listen to this, a record 68 million retirees, disabled people, and survivors of deceased workers relied on Social Security. That's a 42% jump from 2 decades ago, according to the data. The number of Social Security beneficiaries is forecast to swell to 82 million by 2035, according to AARP. And if the trust funds aren't shored up and they run out of money, according to this story, and that, by the way, it's forecast to occur in 2034, less than 9 years from now, it says monthly benefits would be reduced by about 20%. The article is saying that 1/3 of respondents said they believe that insolvency of Social Security trust funds would lead to a complete stoppage or cessation of benefits. This article is saying no, it would just result in benefit amounts being reduced. Again, love to get your thoughts and input. I'm definitely not an expert on Social Security, okay? But even a 20% haircut, if these people are relying on this for survival, would literally be catastrophic. All right, so I hope you guys got something out of the content today. If you did, leave me a like on the video, and please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And again, I wouldn't mind you guys pushing this video out, especially to younger people that they're not thinking about this stuff now. The concept doesn't enter their mind as much, obviously, as people getting closer to retirement age. So please push this out to them and have them start thinking about these things now. All right. With that being said, I will talk to all of you in the coming day and days. Okay. Thanks. Bye.